The message you need to hear right now is that you have just come out of a season of horrendous spiritual warfare, and you didn't even realize that's what was taking place. You just thought the universe had been working against you this entire time. In fact, every time you thought that it could be spiritual warfare, there was something inside of you trying to convince you otherwise, like you were going crazy. And that is the spiritual warfare. See, spiritual warfare doesn't just attack every area of your life. It makes you feel crazy for recognizing it for what it really is. The spiritual warfare has been coming from people who have been working to suppress your light and keep you from your highest calling. But the season of warfare has now come to an end for the time being, and now you have a great opportunity to push forward. And there's always going to be seasons where you feel more attacked than others. But right now is a season where you rise. Right now is a season where you step into your allocated position in the universe and show the world what you truly hold. What do we have at the foundation of the reading, please? Nine of Wands, Sag energy. At the foundation, what do we have at the sacral? The Moon, Pisces energy at the sacral. And then what do we have at the solar plexus, please? Two of Swords, Libra energy at the solar plexus. Okay, so this Nine of Wands is really emphasizing what I spoke about in the opening message. This is representing you coming out of this season of horrendous spiritual warfare. But you're coming out of this better than you were before it began. You know, as hard as it is to actually hear this, the universe will allow these things to happen, so you're able to go through some sort of season where you gather some sort of wisdom and you come out the other side of it better off for it. Now, I recently mentioned in another reading that the universe will quite often allow your enemies to attack you in certain ways, so you're able to gather the experience needed to pull yourself out of that situation. And I feel that's exactly where all of you are right now. Now, with this moon energy at the sacral, there's something about what you have just been through that has supplied you with something. It's like a new way of interfacing with your reality. It's like you just see something differently now, and it's changed something in you. And with this Two of Swords at the solar plexus, it's like you're at this crossroads energy now where you are being called by the universe to make a real decision about how you are going to begin moving forward now that you have this information, now that you're armed with this new sense of discernment, now that you've gathered this specific kind of wisdom from having gone through this season that you have just come out of. This entire energy here is speaking about a new set of tools that you're working with. It could be shaking the foundation on your entire life or just the way you think about life. It's like having gone through a really tough situation with this Nine of Wands, which is the wounded warrior, might I add. And you come out the other side of it and you just have a different lease on life. You're starting to realize that there was things in this previous cycle that you have now come out of that you weren't seeing as clear as you are now. I just heard you've seen the writing on the wall. Yeah, there's something here that has changed. Something has shifted. And because of this, you are in this Two of Swords energy, which is seeing you need to make a decision about how you're going to be moving forward now that you know something, now that you've seen something. And also there's this understanding here that you know you have to accept this. In fact, you'd be doing yourself a great disservice if you didn't. The universe has shown you something very clearly. The universe has given you this great opportunity to move forward on a new path. But there's something about needing to accept something for what it is and leave it behind once and for all in order to set out on this new path. And right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Justice card. So the universe is trying to bring balance to certain areas of your life. And this is what it's going to look like. It's going to look like hard truths. It's going to look like things that you maybe never wanted to see or things that you never wanted to accept were true. That's what we have here. But the upside of this message is that you have a whole new opportunity here that is opening up for you because of this. And this is really an indication of how much the universe is supporting you and how much the universe truly loves you, which further reinforces the opening message about the illusions that those opposing energies were trying to bring into your life. You thought the universe was working against you, when in reality, the universe has always been working for you. And this is what it looks like. What do we have at the heart, please, Spirit? Eight of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the heart. And whenever I see this card, it makes me think that the universe is working on you, right? See these mechanics working on this car and all this machinery. It makes me think about upgrades. It makes me think about truth. It makes me think about all the things that the universe does in our lives to assist us and support us and help us align with our highest good and potential. The universe is helping you build up the skills that you need to push forward on this new path. And the skills are all acquired by the experience you are going through in this current season of your life where things are being exposed to you. You know, this could look a whole lot like you trying to manifest something into your life, a new job, a project, just a new path and vision, really. And the universe says, okay, all right, we got you. We're going to start working on things behind the scenes for you. And then all of this begins to unfold in your life because it takes the breaking down of all of these things that aren't serving this path to be exposed to you so you can make the decision to actually leave whatever these things are behind and align with the path that has been optimized to the vision. See, having gone through that spiritual warfare and then coming out of it and now having the capability to compare one thing to the other is the key to all of this. We don't just wake up to our highest calling. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of spiritual manpower behind the scenes to align us with our true calling. That's why the universe will allow this spiritual warfare to affect us for a season of our life. So then when we come out of it, it's like the universe says to us, hey, you felt that, didn't you? You understand now that these particular energies are not in support of you. You can't deny it anymore, can you? This is when you say, no, I can't. And the universe says, all right, well, now that you know what that looks like, we're going to open up this other path for you. We had to put you through that. We had to show you what this actually looked like from the center of the battlefield so you can compare one thing to the other, but you're going to be stronger for it. In fact, having gone through all of that is exactly what you needed to become the person you're about to become to start heading off down this other path. Right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. Now, the Tower is speaking about a breaking down of some sort of false security in your everyday waking life, which is confirming everything we're saying here to be true. This is the wake-up call. And a lot of the times, the wake-up call is going to be found through some sort of upheaval or disaster. That's when the revelation of what has been taking place in our life begins to truly set in. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Two of Wands, Aries energy at the throat. Okay, so Two of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Two of Wands. The Two of Wands from this deck is quite clear. It's like, well, this is a game show, right? Game show host here is asking you to pick between door 1 and door 2, and we see the game show audience over here. And see how you have the world in the palm of your hand, but you need to choose correctly. And I feel that these two doors are representing the two paths on this Two of Swords. You can continue down the path you've always been on, or you can take the path that the universe has been working on behind the scenes for you this entire time, while you were going through that season of thinking that the universe had forgotten about you. See, the fight between fulfilling your purpose and wanting to live a free human life is real. And not because wanting to live a free human life is by any means out of alignment with your purpose, but because trying to live a free human life in this world is impossible. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? The Moon again at the third eye. I feel that this moon at this third eye, which is different from this moon, is Spirit showing you exactly what it is that's always been trying to get in your way. Right here, see how there's no person on this one, right? And I feel for the sake of the message here, that person is just a representation of everything that's been trying to stand in your way. And what this is Spirit illuminating what has always been in the darkness once and for all. And it's up to you to accept this. Really, this is just Spirit showing you the truth, showing you what's been going on, and asking you to decide between this energy and what's in alignment with your highest good. And if you want to break this all the way down to something that's very grounded in our reality, it's like Spirit showing you who somebody really is and how they really feel about you, which by all accounts in this reading isn't good, and is asking you, hey, Are you going to continue to put up with this, or are you going to carve out a new path? And for a lot of you, it's going to be communities. It's going to be groups of people that are just keeping you from your highest potential here. That's been very strong inside the collective energy the past few days. I've been getting floods of downloads and messages, and the themes are all very much the same. It's very much spirit showing you truth and then asking you, what do you really see for your life? And are you willing to make the necessary sacrifices to be able to align with this vision you have for your life? You know, sadly, a lot of people ask for these things. They actively manifest these things, but when they show up and spirit says, hey, well, we got this here for you, but you got to let go of this. A lot of people rejecting these things because of how big the sacrifice might be. But that's what we're seeing here. Do you want to remain in spaces that are actively working to keep you small? Or do you want to take the opportunity that is being presented to you? What do we have for the crown, please, Spirit? Six of Swords, Aquarius energy at the crown. So the Six of Swords is you moving on from something. It's speaking about your rite of passage. To recap this top row, the Nine of Wands is you, the wounded warrior. You've now come out of a season of horrendous spiritual warfare. The Moon card is representing what spirit has dragged out of the darkness and into the light. The Two of Swords is representing the decisions that you are being faced with at this time. The Eight of Pentacles at the heart is the reminder that the universe had never left your side. In fact, while you were going through this season of spiritual warfare, they were arranging things for you behind the scenes. So when you came out of it, you were ready, which takes us to the Two of Wands. This is Spirit asking you, well, what do you want? Door number one or door number two? And then the Moon at the third eye is telling me that your intuition is firing on all cylinders right now. You see things very clearly, despite what other people may be saying about your mental faculties during this process. And I emphasize that there because the gaslighting inside this energy is also quite strong. You know, that's quite typical of these sorts of cycles. That's usually the defense mechanism that people will use against you to try and hide what it was they were doing. They don't expect that you're going to have such a strong connection with the divine in the universe and see through their lies, see through what they've actually been doing this entire time. And because there's no real tangible proof of it, you just know, they'll use gaslighting tactics to make you second guess your own mental faculties regarding the situation. But the Six of Swords at the crown is very clear. There's no other way around this. If you want this new path, you know what needs to be done here, but you have free will. So it's entirely up to you. And I'm hearing here again that this is connected to something that all of you have been actively manifesting in your life, which is also in alignment with your purpose. And this is what it looks like. This is what takes place. Sure, you didn't ask for all of this to happen, but had you had known that this is the path that you would have to go to get to this very moment, you probably wouldn't have accepted. So the universe does what it does to get you from point A to point B. Doesn't worry about all the noise in between. That's for you to navigate and overcome yourself. And I feel for a lot of you, the worst part of this is really over. What you're left with now is just the decision that needs to be made to continue forward. What do we have at the foundation, please, Spirit? Wow. Eight of Cups, Pisces energy at the foundation. So the Eight of Cups here is really confirming everything we're saying because it's an energy of walking away. It's an energy of burning bridges with this particular karmic cycle that you've come out of now. You've seen the truth, and now it's time to move on. You've learned everything you needed to learn from this cycle. It had to happen the way it did because it's turned you into the person that you've become, the very person that you needed to become to be able to set off down this new path and accept the position that the universe is putting you in. And I'm hearing something here. This is slightly off topic, but they want me to bring this up here. And that's the difference between the third density, the fourth density, and the fifth density. Now, I feel that a lot of you need to know this piece of information because it's going to allow you to make the correct decision regarding the situations that you're facing at this time. Now, the third density doesn't allow us to see the full trajectory of our path. We can't see what's coming tomorrow, next week, let alone 5 minutes from now. The fourth density gives us the capability to see the full trajectory of our path, every single step. It's like looking in front of you and seeing a bridge and that bridge represents your life and every step that you're going to take. The fifth density is the fourth density, but with parallel lives connected to it. So not only can you see in front of you and see the full trajectory of your path, but you can see in either direction all the different parallel lives you could quite possibly live based on the decisions that you make in the here and now. So going back to the third density, we cannot fully comprehend the consequences of the decisions we make in this very moment because we cannot perceive beyond the density that we are currently existing inside of. So Spirit is asking you to think beyond. You know, a lot of people throw around the phrase, I'm living in the 4D, I'm living in the 5D, but they don't actually understand what that means. But I've just given you the most simple presentation of what those things mean. So to live a 4D life is to think about the trajectory of your path and make decisions that are in alignment with your highest good at all times. And to live in the 5D is to understand that you can timeline jump between parallel realities and change your circumstances in any given moment. What do we have at the sacral, please, Spirit? Seven of Pentacles, Taurus energy, underneath the moon at the sacral. And I just heard one man or one woman army. That's who you are. That's the power that you truly hold. And that's why all of this is unfolding the way it is, because there's a calling on your life. You're not like other people. So it would benefit you from trying to live a life like other people. And that's not easy. It's very difficult. But you weren't put here to be another NPC just getting by inside this matrix. You were put here for a very specific reason, and the universe is calling you right now in this season. The Seven of Pentacles is representing your vision for your life. And I just mentioned parallel lives and realities, which is connecting to the Seven of Pentacles, because the vision you have for your life is on an alternate timeline. And it's up to you to make the decisions that are in alignment with your highest good from that 4D perspective to calibrate to the timeline where that vision is your reality. And it sounds easier said than done, but it's not. It's difficult. It takes a lot of discipline. For a lot of you, it takes a complete restructuring of your life to be able to pull this off. But you can do it. I wouldn't have this energy on the table right now if it wasn't possible. And the fact that we even brought up 3D, 4D, and 5D is telling us that it's on a timeline for you. It's just a matter of you breaking down everything that is between you and that timeline. And this is where you start. This decision right here is a single domino that you are about to tip that is going to create a ripple in your life and across multiple timelines. This is you sending out a signal to that version of you that's on that alternate timeline. Hey, I'm on my way. What do we have? The solar plexus, please. Seven of Swords, Aquarius energy underneath the Two of Swords at the solar plexus. And this is a reminder, again, that the universe has exposed this betrayal and deception to you. Are you going to choose you, or are you going to choose them? I'm also hearing that some of you have had a truth exposed to you by the universe about a certain person or a certain group of people, and they don't know that you know about what they did. And I'm also hearing that the universe wants you to keep it that way. It's a situation where you just know and you just remove yourself. There's no need for any sort of discussion about the situation. It won't change anything. In fact, I feel that it would only put you in a position where you were quite possibly vulnerable to the tactics that this person might use to stop you from making the decision that the universe is encouraging you to make. We already picked up the spiritual warfare. We picked up the gaslighting. And the best way to combat those things is to get away from the energies that bring them into your life. And right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Temperance card. Now, the Temperance card from this particular deck is the opposite of what the Temperance energy usually is, which is balance and harmony. This particular card represents some sort of disruptive energy that is in the field. It's something that's very chaotic, something that is trying to affect your long-term vision and bring some sort of imbalance into your life, which is this energy, which is you facing off with that energy. It's not necessary at this point. Let me just put it this way, okay? We're reading the energy here. We're exposing some truths to you, which is meant to arm you so you're able to make a decision for your highest good and potential moving forward. It's not so you can go and face off with individuals, and then people tell you that you're losing your mind because you heard in an energy reading this and that about them. See, this is how not to use these readings. This is something you keep to yourself. No matter how you slice it, we live in a third density world. And the subject matters that we talk about here are not only something that a lot of people cannot understand or grasp, but they will write you off as crazy for even thinking that these things are true. So that's why it's best just to keep these things to yourself. You can't expect people to understand or really admit what it is you know on an intuitive level based on the energy. Whew. Seven of Wands. Leo energy at the heart. And this just confirms that everything we have been saying since the opening message is true. Black magic. Now, the Seven of Wands from this deck speaks about an energy that has been working over time to make you feel overwhelmed, like you're somehow disadvantaged. So you were continuously giving up on your plans to move forward. It's an energy that just wanted you to doubt yourself. But now you're taking a stand for what you truly believe in, and you're pushing forward. And it's so interesting because I put out this members video a couple of days ago, and I was speaking about this card. It didn't actually come out. We got the Seven of Wands from this deck, and it has the same imagery, but the one from this deck doesn't say black magic on it. I actually ended up shuffling through this deck to find this card to show the members, hey, black magic, I'm picking it up in the field, right? Some sort of spiritual warfare. And then sure enough, it comes out in this reading. There's a bridge between these two readings is really what I'm getting at here. So if you haven't watched that reading yet, there might be some other messages in there for you. They're different, but they're similar. They make sense back to back. But either way, the energy here is quite clear. There's no doubt of what I've been picking up here. And all the channelings that I've been getting lately as well have been confirming this. And I feel that this is really setting the tone for the energy moving forward. It's like we're coming out of this. It's like everybody's coming out of a slumber. There's been a haze over the collective, an energy of compliance, but something has been removed now. But it's the type of compliance where it doesn't feel like you're complying, but it's limiting you just enough to where you're actually complying to some sort of societal standard. And then that's a bit of a deep one there, but I think if you just sit with that, it makes perfect sense. And this is also similar to, again, what we're seeing in the world right now. It's like people acting like they're spreading truth, but all they're really doing is giving you an element of the truth to actually distract you from the real truth. And this is everywhere. Every single one of them are in on the same lie. And then we have the Magician. Spiritual wisdom, okay? So going back to the beginning of the reading, when I mentioned that you all had to go through that season to come out of it with a newfound sense of discernment and wisdom, right? Spiritual wisdom. It's like you found the elements you needed from that season to be able to manifest in a new season, which for a lot of you is just exposure. It's just truth, right? But that truth lights a fire up underneath you, and it gives you the capability to actually move towards something now, accomplish something, align with your highest potential, which is what this entire reading is about. The Magician is the literal energy of you realizing your potential and setting off down the path where you turn this vision into your reality. This is you aligning with that timeline where that other version of yourself is waiting for you. What do we have at the throat position, please, Spirit? Ace of Swords, air energy, at the throat. Spirit wants you to know that you have a strong mind and you're thinking clearly, and that you mustn't give up on yourself now and fold to what these people are trying to get you to think about yourself. Like I mentioned, the gaslighting and the rejection of what you know to be true, all for the sake of telling you that you're going crazy and lost your mind. See, that's all a part of this. It's always a part of it. This is a fight between two realities, the reality that you know to be true and the reality that they want you to accept as truth. This Ace of Swords is representing you on that higher timeline, looking up at yourself, standing before these two doors, future you saying, don't give up on us. Make the right decision. You're closer than you could possibly imagine. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Eight of Cups. Again, Pisces energy at the third eye. So we have it twice. Negative polarity, positive polarity. It says right there, transformation gives consolation in adversity. Now it's time to confront the truth, and it's time to walk away from whatever this is here. And again, I'm hearing that Spirit doesn't want you to try and face off with these energies. It's a losing battle because they'll never admit fault. So there's no point. And that's why you have been shown through the fabric of time what the truth really is. Just another way of saying that all has been revealed. Which reality do you choose? And the Moon card and Eight of Cups are both Pisces energy, which is at home at the third eye there. Pisces is the most intuitive sign in the zodiac. So when you get two Pisces cards at the third eye, it's speaking about how strong all of your intuition is right now and how your inner knowing is right on target. And I just heard again, do not give up on yourself on what you know to be true. They keep repeating that here. What do we have at the crown position, please, Spirit? High Priestess. Unbelievable. Pisces energy at the crown. And there it is. We just spoke this card into existence. The High Priestess is the card of intuition. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. And it's right underneath that Six of Swords, which is you moving forward beyond the pain of this situation. This is your transition. This is your rite of passage. The universe has shown you what you need to do. It's undeniable. It's all over this energy. I mean, how many confirmations can we get? So now it's up to you to decide. You know, the High Priestess is also the card of divine guidance, which goes all the way back to what we said about you thinking that the universe had forgotten about you, or the universe was working against you, rather. Couldn't be further from the truth. You have a breakthrough here. There is success in this energy. It says it right there. Success. But this is the path that you need to take to get there. And I have nothing further to add. So with that, I will leave it here. All right, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. And if you got something from this video, consider giving it a hype. The hypes really help the video get into the algorithm and push it out to other people who may need to hear the message too. Information for personal readings, my online store, as well as memberships can be found in the description down below. But in closing, I would like to know how this reading resonated with all of you. So drop me a heart and or a comment, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.